Okay, welcome. I wanted to just say thank you so much for coming today. My name is Anjali, and I'm one of the um, helpers of Blue Sky Friends. Uh, and all of us at Blue Sky Friends are offering educational classes like this every week, except for the final week of the month. The first week is with Gail Deutsch, the second week with myself, and the third week with Ellie Vanderpas. We're planning to do something on the fourth week, but we want to test the waters. And so today we'll test the waters a little bit, try something new, if you will. Now, we have already entered a little bit of a journey with these grief classes, education classes on grief. And so, what I'd like to do today, first, I would like to connect with you. So, first, I'm going to say, because I know you're in different places, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I know it could be late for some of you, wherever you are, so I really appreciate you being here. It could be very early. And I welcome you to this particular series that I've been teaching for Blue Sky Friends. This is one of the grief education series that I'll be sharing called Compassionately Embracing Grief, Navigating Loss with Kindness, Courage, and Care. And we are in part 5 of this series. And as I said, we're going to do a little bit of a new approach today, which I think will be fun also for our interpreters and even the people who are helping with the tech a little bit. I'd like for you to be involved since it's a small group today. I felt it might be small because we didn't get our advertising out so fast this time. But that's okay because in small groups we can connect a little bit more. So the first thing I'd like to do uh, is give you a chance to interact, and that's the big change today. We're going to interact a little bit. Um, First thing is to just share in the chat your name and where you're from. And I'll do my best to interpret what I see. You can do it in your language if you need to. Uh, because what we want to do at Blue Sky Friends is bridge connection. We have a lot of information that we can give you, and we want to share and help you have the tools for when you are having trouble, when you have a loved one in need, when you are in need, when life transitions happen. But we also want to bridge connection between Blue Sky Friends and you and connect, right? We want to meet you. And we also want you to meet each other because this is the way we heal. We heal in community. And the only way we can heal in community is to connect and talk with each other. And even if we have different languages and different cultures and different countries we come from, different backgrounds, different traditions, we all have something in common. And that is, we all live on this planet together. And we all share common aspects of the human condition, such as living on this planet with all its beauty and all its difficulties, all of its trials and all of its triumphs. And it's beautiful that we can come together as community when we need support and also to rejoice about how we're doing with those things. So, I see somebody here, Anna from Israel. Thank you for being here. Anastasia from Moscow. Yay! Ludmila. If I don't say your name correctly, please forgive me. It's from Ukraine, but lives in Italy. Aha. My family's from Italy. Um, Technically, the heritage. Yeah. So thank you. And like I said, if I invite interaction and invite connection, and you feel, I want to just sit here and listen, don't feel pressure. Okay? We were happy you're here to just be here and to connect in and listen. Tatiana from Belarus. Ooh, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it so much. We do. And uh, so let's continue. What I would like to do, as I normally do, is I like to offer a grounding intention to start, and also a practice tool, a practice tool. And the practice tools uh, are there so that we have and are cultivating things that we can use to help ourselves and to help others when we are in trouble or when we're having difficulties. And so these tools are extremely helpful, and they have been extremely helpful for myself, for my friends and family, and for my clients as well. And then after the grounding and intention, we'll do a little bit of a review of the first 4 classes, just touching on what we've done in case you weren't there, a little bit to remind what we have kind of worked on. And then I thought we could do a little interactive sharing. Be brave, open our mics, and do a little bit of interaction. Just inching in to connecting with each other. Sound good? Okay. All right. Um, so with the grounding and embodiment tools or practices, these are for helping us build a self-care and an other care toolbox, I like to call it. These are not just for us. These are things we can share with our friends to support them when they're struggling with loss, grief, trauma, change. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get tired or I had, let's say, some troubling interaction that has come up, the emotions kind of need to, in the body, kind of just goes offline for a second. You pause for a second. And sometimes we don't really know what to do next. So, in terms of grief, for instance, when we ourselves or our loved ones are grieving, we can become disconnected from how we feel and what we need in a very basic way. And clearly, we can have this experience when we're not grieving as well. Like I just said, when you have a troubling moment in general in your life. This particular meditation or mindfulness tool, if you will, is designed to help us get in touch with our bodies, what we feel, and what we need. And I have found that, especially in grief and big change, feelings can feel really big and needs can feel overwhelming. So, to break those moments of feeling and need down to simpler components is extremely helpful. Okay, I'm going to invite everyone to close your eyes if you like. If you're not comfortable with closing your eyes, you can keep them open if you like. But it's nice if you feel that you can close your eyes to go inside. And we'll start with an intention and then the mindfulness practice and tool. So invite yourself now to connect into your heart. And let yourself breathe there. In your body, in your heart. Draw your awareness internally to connect with your heart. It's the heart of love that brings us to want to learn things to help others and also to help ourselves. We deserve that love too. And we are sitting in a circle where we share commonality amidst our many differences. But the commonality is very deep. It's a deep commonness of our human condition. The human condition of ups and downs, trials and triumphs, love and loss. And let's let that human condition open our hearts to feel deeper compassion for ourselves and each other. And open to learning new ways that we can help ourselves and others who are suffering or will suffer in some way from loss and grief. And from here, we'll shift the attention now to the mindfulness practice tool called the Mindful Presence Check-in tool. Make sure you're comfortable. You can do this practice sitting up, lying down, whatever is more comfortable for you, eyes closed or open. And the first step is to simply notice your body. The body has many sensations in it all the time. And right now, the invitation is just to take a few breaths into your body and release them from the body to connect to a sense of presence in the body. Maybe 3 breaths like that. And in this presence with the breath, you may begin to notice the feeling of the most prominent sensation in your body right now. Just take a moment to notice it. Notice where it is in the body and how it feels. An example would be, oh, I feel some sensation of thirst in my mouth, dry. Just notice it. Continue your natural breathing. And then in the acknowledgement of this sensation, notice with gentle acceptance that it is there. Invite acceptance of its presence. And then bear witness to this sensation and become curious about what it has to share with you at this moment. So, as I said, maybe dryness in the mouth, noticing it has a feeling of needing water, right? Begin now by asking the sensation, how would you describe yourself? It might describe the feeling or need, such as a tightness or a pain or a feeling of thirst or anxiety or like a knot in the stomach. Could be a pleasant sensation also. Ask this question. How would you describe yourself? And then listen for an answer. Now, ask the sensation, what do you need? And allow it to answer about whatever it feels it needs. Does it need comfort or to feel safe? Does it need something physical or simple acknowledgement? Identify the need and listen in. And as you receive the answer, just like a mother who would do whatever was needed to find and provide for her own child, take a moment to find a small way to resource this need for yourself, this sensation. What would you do? That's a small, simple, quick, healthy way to provide support to that feeling or sensation, support to the need. And you make a small pledge. I will do something small. And if the need seems great, too big, try to offer some small thing to care for that need in the moment. Just something you can do in the next moment. And then placing one of your hands on the heart with a gesture of compassion towards yourself and this sensation, this feeling, this need. Make a heartfelt pledge to offer this to yourself after this meditation. And then deepening your breath. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, release your hand, take a stretch. Hmm. So if you feel like sharing, did you, what the sensation was in the chat and what the need was and how you'd like to satisfy that need? For me, it was exactly what I said. I have a dry mouth. It's morning here. And I was like, oh, I'm thirsty and I really need some water. So that's what I'm going to give myself right now. Anyone want to share? You're welcome. You don't have to, but it's just a way for us to connect in by using this tool together. And and maybe if someone wants to put something in their language, right, that our interpreters could maybe translate that for me, right, because I can't read those and I want to be able to. Um, if you can help and how that felt, maybe to you. It's a different way to approach our feelings and our needs. Really breaks it down, right? Here's someone said, oh, okay. There was a tightness in my throat. And the tightness, we're personifying the tightness, okay? The tightness asked me to just stop, relax, let me flow. Good. I hope that was helpful. If you felt a little more relaxed. Let's see here. This is Anna. And in the end, she said that I did some relaxation and this tension is now gone. Good. Something worked. This is good. We are experimenting, okay, with these practices. These are all tools that we experiment with to see how they function to help us gain more insight and awareness of how we're feeling, what we need, and how to give that need what it needs. I'm glad you liked it, Anna. That's very nice. Anastasia said, I felt I wasn't getting enough movement. Ah, we tuned into that. And she says, my lower back had stiffened up a bit. It hadn't been a long time since I practiced yoga. Oh boy, me too. I've been working a lot lately and not paying attention to my body. Now, she said, I decided to add it to my schedule after my classes and gradually bring yoga back into my life. Me too. Wow. Very good. But you became aware of it in this meditation. You're like, seal it. This is what I want to do to take care of that sensation in my back, right? Self-love. And that self-love and the awareness of taking care of ourselves is a way of taking care of others as well. Because, when we're not feeling as good in our bodies or we're not meeting our needs, it's easy um to get grumpy. I don't know, I get grumpy. To get grumpy or to maybe even get a little agitated or we have negative emotions come up, right? So we want to be in the best place we can be. So paying attention to those things. That's very nice, Anastasia. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's a good reminder for me too. Awesome. Anyone else? This is nice. So this is a beginning of how I'd like to interact, right? Um, You can keep floating things into the chat. I'm going to keep going. And what I'd like you to do is you can always go back to these meditations in the beginning of every class. I do a tool share in every one of my offerings. Oh, and every offering uh, will have this because I wanted to build your toolbox, right? Build your toolbox. And speaking of which, in the review, I just wanted to share some of the tools I've already shared with you. So, mm, so far, we have 5 tools because we've had 5 classes. The first class, we did a simple grounding breath awareness meditation, just a tool for cultivating basic presence and connection to the present moment in our bodies and our hearts. Just breath, using the breath, going out and in through the nose, into the body, right? The second tool is what I call tension release breath meditation, which is another type of breath awareness, very focused. And it was a tool where we explored how to use the breath to release physical, emotional, and mental tension and worry in our system at every given moment, any given moment. And this helps when we feel tension, when we feel a little off, when we feel tired, when we have a negative emotion. We can use this to start to harmonize our system and let go of some of that tension. It can also be used for physical pain, like so. Number three, we did a a tool. So I'm giving you the hint, class one, class two, class three, where you can find these. I would love to cut them out so that we can have them just as existing tools by themselves at some point. I have recorded them, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. The third class, we did what is called gratitude breath meditation or heart coherence uh, tool, which helps to calm the nervous system and also direct our mind into gratitude. And this meditation is helpful for uh, really also harmonizing the heart rhythm because the breath is a 1-1 ratio. And we're giving ourselves contact of touch and thinking about something virtuous, positive. The fourth tool that I presented in the fourth class was butterfly presence meditation. And you can call it a mindfulness tool, you can call it meditation, you can call it tool, all the same, in my opinion. This one was to help take scattered, chaotic, almost that overwhelmed feeling with thoughts or feeling of too much, and then drawing everything in and centering, grounding the energy on a little flower in the heart where these butterflies or one butterfly comes and sits there. And it's just a way to help people find ground inside. And then you did one today. And this one was the mindfulness presence check-in, where we take a moment to stop for 2 minutes of our day, maybe three, and allow ourselves to get in touch with what we're feeling and what we need by doing something embodied and focused. So I hope if you haven't connected into those tools, now you can go find them perhaps in your language on our Blue Sky Friends YouTube channel. For those specific classes, have specific tools that I start with in the beginning. And build your toolbox, learn them so that you can share them. These tools are not from any one tradition. They're meant to be wellness-oriented tools, things that can help people who need support in very simple ways. Okay. So now, going back to a little bit of our review, I just want to take you on a small journey on what we've covered in each of these classes. We're not going into detail at all, just an outline. But if there's anything that you've missed, you might go, ooh, I want to check out class one or three. So in part one of this series that we've been working with, and remember uh, it's called Compassionately Embracing Grief, Navigating Loss with Kindness, Courage, and Care. So essentially, we are learning tools and educating ourselves on how to be with others in grief and how to be with ourselves in grief. And so we explored different topics. For instance, in class one, what does it mean to navigate loss with kindness, courage, and care? What does that mean? We explored the common human experience of loss and grief. We explored the importance of developing a feeling of equanimity towards everyone who experiences loss and grief. And how we are different in maybe our beliefs, traditions in approaching grief, and how to honor the differences of those things between people and cultures. We also explored the importance of honoring individual experiences of loss and grief. This is very, very important. Because it's different for everybody. We talked about impermanence denial, the idea that, oh no, nothing in my life will change. I'm going to live forever. We explored types of losses, all sorts of different ways someone can die. Or have a life transition experience, the ending of something like a job or a relationship through divorce, for instance. And then I encouraged everyone to think about making a list of people who have died in your life. I got the idea from several of my mentors that it's a very, very sobering experience to write down the people that are no longer in your life in a physical way. They're in your heart, but they're not here anymore. And to acknowledge that on paper. And then we also explored how to approach people who have experienced misfortune with empathy and action, which is essentially compassion. How to approach with compassion. And then we looked at 15 different ways we can skillfully approach and help someone, be present for someone, which I won't go over all of those. You'll have to go back to the class. And in every offering, I also offer a poem, and a beautiful poem called The Unbroken by Rashani Rea was offered in that class, and it's really an exquisite poem. And in those classes, there are slides. Some of you already know this, but there are slides and you can read it. And then offering two, class two of this series, we did a little reading by Khalil Gibran on the relationship between joy and sorrow. And we segued from offering compassionate care to another into exploring offering compassionate care to oneself when grieving. And a lot of the ideas are very similar. We explored what grief is not, what grief is, meaning it's not black and white. It has gray area. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. We bridge the mental experience and the physical, emotional experience. Both are happening oftentimes during grief. Trying to make logical sense while still living it viscerally, a lived experience, and allowing for those things to take place. We shared in that class the story of the Buddha, where is an example from history where he went out from a very pristine environment of being protected from the world to being exposed to sickness, aging, and death for the first time. And it was very intense and startling for him. And I think it is for us too, when we have our first experience of loss of a loved one or a big life transition. We also have had the story of Kisha Gotami and the mustard seed, which essentially shared that no one is immune to death, loss, or grief. Everywhere you turn, everyone is in the same boat. And then this became a very profound motivation for cultivating more compassion and love. And we explored things like the non-linear elements of grief, denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and acceptance are these 5 things that we do go through, but they're not in that order all the time. And then we also talked about context of losses. And I shared some intimate stories of my own experience of loss. The way someone dies, your history with loss, or another's history of loss can affect how we grieve. And physiological changes as well. And then lastly, we connected into what it's like to live life after loss, navigating life without your beloved or what you cared about is now different. It's changed in your life. And then we shared a little more about establishing support and began to go over those 15 ways of skillfully and compassionately caring for yourself when grieving. And a little bit about establishing basic stability and self-care. And then classes 3 and 4 really just, I couldn't get to all 15 points. So we just kept going to finish them. And most importantly, in class 3, I went over the basic stability, self-care ideas for just making ourselves grounded in the moment by establishing safety, comfort, taking care of our sleep, nourishment, hydration, movement, and establishing self-care tools and co-care tools, care tools that we do for ourselves and connect with others, whether it's with friends or a guide or a grief support person. And so that's and then there's some other poems and tools, as I said, in those classes. We touched on secondary losses a little. We touched on the black and white versus gray area of grief. But I would say my appreciation is growing. The more I learn about all the different nuances of grief and loss, it's remarkable how intricate it can be because it's such a vast topic and experience in our lives. And it's very sensitive and unique for each person. So please keep in mind that these classes so far are simply entry level, a broad overview of these topics. And there's much more depth that I would like to go with you on this journey to explore the vast landscape of grief, loss, and how to take care of each other when that's happening. And that is the intent of Blue Sky Friends, to continue that ongoing education as well as offering more engaging interactive sessions for our community. So that we can explore the topics of death, dying, loss, and grief together. So with these last few minutes, I'd love to start, and we're going to be doing this more often because I want to really encourage this, is to offer some opportunity to consider this inquiry, just one for today. And you can put it in the chat if you like, or you can unmic and say hello and just share something. We'll have time for just a few shares, but I promise we'll do more in the future. And the inquiry is, I'd love to hear from you what you have found helpful in supporting your own learning experience and life journey with regards to death, dying, loss, and grief. Something you may have derived from these classes or learned somewhere else that you might like to share. And they don't have to be related to these grief classes. If you attended other classes, you can share about that as well. Share anything alive for you. Okay, someone knows the raised hand feature. I don't have to say it. So if you want, raise your hand if you want to share. And the first one is Anna. Go ahead and unmic and share, and be sure to speak slowly so that our translators can translate. Okay, it helps them. Please switch to the English channel. Oh, everyone. Okay, okay. Yeah, that can help. Hold on. English. Okay. You can go to your three dot more button and click on interpretation and then put it into that language. Okay, we'll try this out. This is an experiment, and we're going to go over a few minutes if you don't mind. Just a tiny bit. We'll just to make sure we have a way to hear a few people. Okay, Anna, can you talk? Is it possible? Uh-oh, we lost her. Where are you? Oh no. We might be having some connection issues. Oh. Well, while we're waiting for her to come back on, does anybody want to anybody else? I'm going to put this into gallery so I can see everyone. And even the translators, you can translate, the interpreters, you can translate yourself or interpret yourself if you want to share something from the heart. Okay. I think sometimes we have to start there, right? We start there. We start where we are. And Anna's back. Uh-oh. Can you hear us? Well, we can't hear you now. Hold on, let me see if I switch. Okay. Yeah, we're still having tech problems to hear you, Anna. Can anyone hear her? No. Oh, we can't hear you. Okay. So sorry, but I just want to thank you for your share with this practice. Feel free to reach out to us if you have things you want to share by email. Um, and we want to fix this. We'll make sure that we can do this next time. All right. Because I don't know. I don't know the tech part of it. And we've reached the hour. But what I'd like to just leave you with today is this inquiry. What has helped you so far navigate your journeys with death, dying, grief, and loss? And really collect those ideas because I want to do it next time. I want to do the inquiry right from the beginning, and we're going to figure out the tech for that. And I also want to encourage this as well, this inquiry as well. Think about some of also the challenges that you've had and what you might like to learn more about, and bring that as well, because I want to learn more about what you need. And also, hey, yeah, how can we help you better? So, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much. I guess the only thing that I would, let's see here, do is this. I usually, let me close this. Um, I usually share uh just a little bit just with everybody. This is services we offer. And you might, if you don't need them, that's okay. I'm glad you don't need them right now. But if you ever need them or you know a friend that needs them, please send them to us so we can help them. That's what we're here for. These QR codes are there to connect you to our services, and they're at the end of every class as well. You can find them there too. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share. If you'd like to unmic and say bye-bye from wherever you are in the world, I'd love to hear your voice. Please, if you can, we have no, you can't hear anybody. I forgot about that. Okay, so just put your emojis and emojis and send love to everyone in Russia, Ukraine, Spain, Mexico, uh, Vietnam, who are on the call. And I'm just so grateful for all of you being here. Wait, could somebody say something? Where's Anastasia? Did you on mic? Okay. All right. We'll figure that out for a future. But think about these things and have a beautiful day. Do something lovely to take care of someone else today. Okay. And yourself. Mazal? All right. I want to see. Let's see. Yay. All right. Thank you so much. Much love to all. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.